don't just take anybody's acting class. If just because you see somebody's posting, oh, I'm doing this acting class, come do it. No, do not take. You want to go to a trained professional for whatever technique they're trying to teach you, like somebody that's actually making waves and has criteria. You feel me? Actually go to a studio. Don't just go to somebody's basement, or you feel me? Like a tattoo, you wouldn't go to nobody's random basement. It's an investment. You're investing in yourself at the end of the day. You don't
Yeah.
have to have all the money in the world, but you do have to. It takes money to make money. You got to pay for classes. You got to get headshots. Get all the prerequisites out the way. Get your headshots. Um, get some friends. You don't have to go and do a big feature film to start off. Get some friends, make a short film. Like you
Yeah.
can start somewhere. You can start anywhere. But that's rule number one. Do not let anybody take advantage of you by just saying, "Hey, I got to do these acting classes. I can do your headshots in the backyard." No, all professional. Go professional.
Welcome to the Pattern Disruption Podcast. I'm your host, Eric Rhymes. Let's break some patterns and start the show. I got a special guest. Today, I'm excited to sit down with a rising star in the world of acting, Joseph Phillips Jr. He is actually like a nephew to me, definitely family. But since starting his professional career in 2018, Joseph has taken on a powerful role that I definitely want to talk about. He played Teen Greg in the Greg Mathis stage play, Don't Judge Me. He played August Livingston in the feature film Family Divided, and Marcus Young in the stage play Beat the Streets. Hailing from Detroit, Joseph has honed his craft at the Actors Loft in Royal Oak, Michigan, and continues to make waves across both stage and screen. Today, we're going to dive into his journey and the lessons he's learned and to where he's headed next. I want y'all to give a special round of applause to Joseph Phillips Jr. Welcome to the stage.
Hey, how you doing?
What's up, nephew? You all right?
Yeah, you good?
Man, look, I'm going to say it like this. When I heard you were acting, I was definitely excited, but I was taken aback because I never saw you as a creative coming up. You were kind of reclusive, quiet. So I guess I want to ask what inspired you that and made you realize that this was your calling in acting.
When it comes to inspiring, I always tell the same story. Back when I was 5 years old, I remember watching Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, Disney Channel. I was a real Disney Channel kid, and I just saw those two young kids like just on TV, just making people laugh. And I knew I was doing that in school already. I was always getting kicked out of class for being a class clown. I always just got a thrill for being an entertainer. Like as I've grown older, I realized I'm just an entertainer at heart. I just always love entertaining people. Um, and yeah, when I realized it was when I senior year.
Okay.
I was 18. They had a career day. They were like, "Are you gonna go to the career?" I'm like, "It's not gonna be no actors there. I already know what I want to do. I knew what I wanted to do for a long time. I was never one of those people that was so lost in life. I knew what I wanted to do. I said, it's not gonna be any actors there." One of the guidance counselors said, "Oh, it is gonna be creative there, actors." So I went, talked to her, ended up getting a lot of information out of her. That's where I got the acting class information from, and I've just been rolling since.
So you said, look, it's gonna be trade schools there, all this other kind of stuff. It's not even necessary for me to go. I know what I want to do.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, that's dope. Because I was one of the people who I wanted to be a barber, I wanted to be a rapper, but I definitely didn't have that long term, that long term vision. So that's good. That's good. That's definitely good for your generation too.
Hmm.
Because most of your generation, I think you came up in a generation where they wanted to be influencers, kind of do what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So okay. So definitely, acting is definitely a career that you can. I mean, you're a communicator. So at the end of the day, is no ceiling to what you can make when you are a communicator. Like Kevin Hart works with the banks. He works with, you know what I mean, based off of that foundation of acting. He's one of the highest paid people
Hmm.
in the world. So most definitely. So tell me this: Detroit. So tell me this: how did growing up in Detroit shape your perspective as an actor,
Mm.
or did it?
Uh, I can probably like early on, just looking at it, I don't think it did. But now that I'm older now, I
Mhm.
can see like just being in Detroit, just seeing art everywhere, graffiti on walls, murals downtown Detroit. Like especially now, I can say it's shaping it now. Just being around creativity when I go downtown, um, and just seeing a lot of people making music now. Music is the scene. It's been the scene for a while, but music being popular now here, everybody wanting to come here. Uh, yeah, it's shaping it now. I can say because it's more creative
Okay.
and I'm seeing it more.
Yeah. Yeah. When you did the Greg Mathis play, I think that was you guys went to Chicago first, right? Wasn't that like the
Yeah, we went to Chicago. Yep.
and was that a mostly Detroit cast or was it just all type of creatives?
I believe that was all Detroit because we filmed it in
Okay.
Detroit. Yeah.
Oh, okay. 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 So let me ask you this. As far as your mentors, was there any was there any particular moment, performance, or mentor that pushed you into doing this seriously?
Um, that pushed me into doing it seriously.
Or you already knew? It was just like,
Yeah, I already knew. Like, well, it's not a mentor. It was a moment in my life. I was in college. It was like my sophomore year, I think. And I just remember calling my mom. I just wasn't happy. Because I went to a Christian college, and we used to have to go to
okay,
chapel. And I was sitting in chapel, and it just this energy just dawned on me like I'm not supposed to be here. Like I'm not happy. I know what I want to do. And I called my mom. I was crying. Like it was that moment right there. I was crying. I don't want to be here. I know what I want to do. And that really pushed me to like start putting my foot down more and really following in my dreams. And that's what I did. Really, that next year, that next semester,
okay,
I took a what's it called? Leap year? Not a leap year. I took a break.
yeah, a sabbatical, like,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
took some time off.
And that's
Okay, okay, but so basically, you got emotional because I grew up. So actually, your mother and I we went to the same school,
okay.
which was Evangel Christian Academy,
Uh-huh.
and we were in chapel too every Tuesday.
Yeah.
So I know how that chapel, how it is, and you basically were like, look, I'm here. Basically, I'm just going through the motions
Hmm.
at this point. I know, Mama, you'll be proud of me if I bring this paper home, but trust me, if I really hone in on my skills
Hmm.
and buckle down, I could bring home the real paper.
Feel me? Yeah.
I could bring home the real paper. Okay, okay, I got you. I got you. Okay, most definitely, man. And I'm gonna tell you like this: the emotion and the tears did not hurt. So she was cool with it off rip, or was it like you had to kind of push pull?
Push pull. We just now getting to the point of acceptance for real, for real. It was tough.
Okay,
It was a no. You're gonna do this. You're gonna go to school, and that's the whole reason I was in school. Because before that, I even told her I go to community college. I will just stay here so I can do my acting as well. Like, I can stay close. Because I went to school 2 hours
right.
away. So I was like, even before then, I was on that. But like once I put that foot down and we went back and forth, it was tough for a minute to say the least.
Okay.
Yeah.
You said just now, so that means basically you being more successful is just helping the whole.
Yes.
Yeah, yes.
Exactly.
Because now, because in the beginning you were a college dropout.
Kinda. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you know what I'm saying. You were a college dropout,
Uh huh.
and now you can use that college dropout thing as that's your story.
Literally.
That's gonna be a part of your story when you're sitting up in front of a panel of thousands of people and you just had a film that went, you know, that got an Emmy.
Hmm.
You say, look, I had a choice. I was at that fork in the road. And guess who's gonna be out there jumping up and down, praising?
I know. For real.
Yep, she gonna be the main one in the front on the front row.
Main one. Yeah.
But I'm glad that she's coming around.
For sure.
That's what's up.
I do.
Um,
I do want to
Go ahead.
mentor though. I do have some mentors now. I definitely want to shout out Marcus Woods. He's an actor here.
Okay.
He's been on network television like Fatal Attraction, Empire. He's somebody that I really like look up to and call him whenever I need some information because I really truly believe he's next for sure.
Have you been in any Tubi movies?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Let's. I want to do that right now, right here. I
Okay.
have been in movies that end up on Tubi.
On Tubi.
Yeah,
There we go.
I
There we go. Yeah, yeah.
hate that term. I really do.
Okay, so you know the people, how should I put this?
Hmm.
The people are going to, I kind of liken it to, you know how when you were younger and you were walking to school, if you ever walked to school, it was a trail across the grass, and you're supposed to go to the corner and turn on the sidewalk, but you walked that trail, and everybody walked that trail.
Hmm.
My point in saying that is the people are going to say where we walk at. Now you just put concrete where we're going to walk. And my point is the people are going to call it Tubi movies, no, regardless. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Yeah,
If it's on Tubi, it's a Tubi movie. So you'll be fighting an uphill battle to get people to,
yeah.
it's just funny that, but Tubi is a big brand. You know, Rupert Murdoch. Do you know who that is?
Who? Yeah.
Rupert.
Five.
Yeah, yeah. He's the one that owns Tubi.
Hmm.
Yeah. So it's really a big network. It's just, it's a smaller outlet than than the larger Paramounts and all that, but
Yeah,
it's still a large distribution center. Yeah.
and a lot of people, a lot of celebrities are watching Tubi. Really, like so.
Yeah.
All the people that talk down on it and everything, like you just helping us or the creators that's already on there get more, you feel me, notoriety and more opportunity at the end of
Yeah.
the day.
Cause yeah, yeah. Every time we hear something, a Tubi movie, what's wrong with Tubi movies? Then you got to go to find out.
You feel me? Yeah,
And some of them are pretty
they
rough,
are.
pretty bad.
They are
But overall, I think I mean, the majors are talking about Tubi though.
literally.
Yeah, because they seeing what people are doing. You see what Moolah Films is doing with what's the name of that series that they have? The Block.
Yeah, H Block and McGraw Ave.
H Block. Yeah, they doing major numbers with that, man. Like really getting paid.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but let me see. So training. Let me ask you a little bit about your training. How did training at the Actors Loft influence your approach to acting and character development?
Going back to what you said in the intro, not knowing, not taking me for a creative, and growing up, I was very shy growing up. I was, although I like to entertain and be the center of attention, if you tell me to get on stage when I was younger, I couldn't do it. I would be so scared. So the Actors Loft and Royal Oak really got me out of my comfort zone and made me realize, that was the moment I realized I can really do this. Like I'm not gonna, stage fright isn't gonna be able to set me back any more than it already did up until that point. So it really shaped me that way, and it was my introduction of the artistry of acting. Cause I like growing up, I just thought acting was pretend, but no, acting is real life. Like it is so real, and it really was the introduction and a step stool to actually learn the craft of acting, because it's a craft at the end of the day.
When you say it's real, you mean if you really want to be in that character, you got to you have to take the full emotion and commit and submit to the role. That's what you're saying?
Yes, commitment is full on
Yeah.
commitment. It's no pretend. Like I hate hearing the term um fake tears, or not fake tears, something like around that um lingo, because when you're in an emotional scene, that's real. It's coming from a real place. You're telling the truth.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
acting is, telling the truth. So whenever you're crying, no, it
Yeah.
wasn't fake tears. That was real tears. It came from a real place. I took on my shoulders the emotion that character faced throughout the whole movie or up until that point, and that was all real. That was how I felt it. The character felt in the moment. So it's a
Okay.
whole dance with acting. It's a whole craft that has to be learned.
Yeah. If you really want to make it believable, because we can feel when it's not real.
Yes.
And sometimes you can't put your finger on it, but something just doesn't ring true
Hmm.
when the actor's not real good.
Yeah.
But you go away with like, you know what I'm saying? You go away with one of those situations where you just feel like something you missed, something wasn't there. Going back to Greg Mathis, you played Teen Greg. What was the experience like, and how did it challenge you as an actor versus what you've done in the past?
Oh, it was a lot of challenges. It was great though. I think it helped me and it molded me. The experience itself, like I didn't. It happened so fast. When I'm telling you this, I was at this festival and literally, one of my friends in the industry, Janaea Black, she's with Blacksmith Enterprises. She pointed me out. I was about to leave. I was just to myself in the corner. She pointed me out, asked me, did I want to do this audition? I seen the Teen Greg. I seen the names, but it just didn't register. So I did it. That's how I met Angela Dunlap. I don't know if you know her, but
Yeah, yeah, I know who
yeah,
that
that's
is.
how I met Angela. Went to the audition, got it essentially. Then it was also fast. Like got the script in like 5 days, maybe a little longer, like 7. Um, and then I remember this one time in particular when I actually met him. I didn't think he was gonna be on set. I didn't know anything. I was rehearsing this one scene. He walked straight in, and I was just like, "Wow, this is really real." All the work you've done since 2018, putting your foot down, you're in the room playing the man. Like it was just crazy. It was eye opening, and I got to
Yeah,
talk to him, dive in the script a little bit, ask him questions. So that really shaped how I brought the character to life in his reenactments.
yeah, yeah. That had to be big for you, man. To play him,
Man.
to meet him, um, is surreal. And he during that time, I think he was going through that thing with his wife, and I think that was just dropped. The tour was just coming out, and I was just so happy for him because he was getting more positive news coverage. You know what I mean? Because they were running with that story that he had going on.
Hmm.
So that was just great. And then it was a positive story. And if I'm not mistaken, he was a juvenile offender or something like that, right?
Hmm.
I think yeah, yeah, yeah. He like had a rough upbringing.
I learned so much about him, man. You wouldn't even tell. Like looking, going, I was in such awe because I had a photo shoot with him as well for the cover. So
Wow.
doing the photo shoot with him, and just knowing the script and just knowing all these things that he did, and I'm just like, I would have never thought that when I was at home in my grandma's house watching Judge Mathis. And that was another surreal moment. Like I used to watch you on TV, like, and you're in the audience,
Yeah,
you're in a Medea movie, like it was just
yeah,
it was just an eye opener. Like you're so much closer to your dreams than you know, Joe. Like you're here, and
yeah.
it only progresses better. And he was such a great person. He invited me, made me feel welcome with his family. Like that whole weekend was so great. I loved everything about it. I still keep in contact with his sons. Like they really made me feel like I was family.
So your lead role in A Family Divided, I want to talk about that a little bit. It tackled a lot of deep themes. How did you prepare for that role of August Livingston? And who is August Livingston?
August Livingston is high school phenom in basketball. He is the one to make it out the hood. But in this story, he's come from a great family. They're not in the hood, but for the phrase we all like to use, he's the one to get the family out the hood. Um, he's a loving brother, big brother protector. He has comes from a 2 family household and just the overall lover and just wants to play ball. That's it, and keep his family safe. As far as attacking the role, everything works out for a reason. Like at that time, I was newly discovered to anxiety and panic and what that does to the body. I was fresh off of panic attacks. I was having them back to back. So and I've always been scared of the human heart. Like I always hated it. I can't look at it. Like if we're in biology or science class, I'm turning away. I can't look at it. So that was an extra layer of things. And come to find out, a theme in the story was related to something of that nature that you'll just have to watch. And I really had to face my fears and really do research. I'm like, okay, Joe, this is your job at the end of the day. Do your research. And I faced my fears and I ultimately overcame those panic attacks. I rarely have them. I don't even remember the last time I had them. So it was therapeutic. Like when people say art is therapeutic and music and stuff, it really did become my therapy at that time.
You mean literally seeing a heart gives you panic attack,
Well, it
anxiety?
well that would just added to it. But like I always had a fear of the human heart. Like, if I see a beating heart on the screen, like
Oh, okay,
I
okay.
can't.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't like something having that much control. Like it has so much control over you. You feel me?
Yeah,
So that
yep.
aspect really, yeah.
Okay, okay. And you had to deal with that in the film, and you overcame that.
Hmm.
Okay, that yeah, because I didn't have panic attacks until I was so I didn't know what it was. I thought I had issues with my heart.
You feel me? Yes.
That's how, yeah. So you a panic attack, I used to hear about them. I never had one. And when I started having them, it was a small period, and I learned I was doing yoga at the time, so I ended up learning some breathing techniques,
Hmm.
and that's the only thing that would save me.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, I was gonna go to emergency because I thought I was having a heart attack.
Yeah. They nothing to play with for real.
Yeah, 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 most definitely. And what's the first law of nature is survival. So you're going to survive, and that may mean that you're going to evolve.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And that's what I think happened with you in that situation.
Hmm.
You found evolution in those panic attacks. Now it sounds like you could take any situation and run it through that same system and try to find an outcome, a better outcome.
Yeah.
You being so young and having panic attacks, did you ever take medication for it?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so you self, yeah, yeah, yeah. What about therapy? Did you do therapy?
I've been looking for a therapist for the longest. I want to. I want to get a therapist.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Most definitely, because I end up doing therapy, not for the panic attacks, but I did that. I was going through some stuff in my marriage and all that kind of stuff. So,
Hmm.
um, I got some people gave me advice to go do that. But the panic attacks were, I don't know where that came from,
Yeah. Me neither.
but I know your pain, brother. I definitely know your pain.
Man.
I'm glad to see you on the other side of that.
Thank you.
Stage and film require different acting styles. Do you prefer one over the other? And if so, why?
Well, I am doing stage now with Beat the Streets. I've been doing that for like 4 years now. I used to hate theater. I always came into acting wanting to just do sitcoms and film. But since during the doing the play, I love theater. You can't get me off the stage. I love just being live and especially because I know the character so much and I get free reign more without because
Mhm.
I'm like the comedic relief of the play. So I get like kind of free reign more than anybody else. So it's just so fun to just let that extra energy out. Um, yeah. So I will say I prefer theater just a little bit more just because of the freedom. But my first love is film for sure.
One thing I like about film is that film, you make it once and you sell it a million times.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? That's the great part about film. Like I still watch movies like Life with Eddie Murphy and Martin.
Yeah.
But now the pros, the cons of that is if you make a mistake or something you don't like or something is eerie to you, it's done. It's set. You can't change it.
Yeah.
With you doing stage every weekend, if you're doing your shows every weekend, you can come better and reinvent yourself.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Something you didn't get a good response from, you can play around with it and get. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's what I definitely, yeah, stage would definitely be a more of an advantage for something like that.
I also love theater a little bit more because when we get on that stage and it's me and you, it's my playground. Like, yes, we still
Yeah,
acting, we back and forth, but you have to react to me. So I get to play with it more and be like I was saying, be more free. And
right.
in acting, it's all like if I'm delivering a line a certain way, and we did that in take one, take two, and take three, you're not gonna give me that same reaction. And it's not. It just gets dead faster. Rather on stage, if we in a heated argument or we just a regular scene, it has to gradually progress. It has to because we're
Yeah.
in front of an audience.
Right.
When we back in front of a camera, oh, I messed up. Okay, cut.
Yeah.
Let's do it again.
It's cuts,
Yeah,
edits. Yeah, yeah.
and it's pretend at that point. It's not acting. It's just okay. I know what you're gonna do, so let me just do this. Stage, you gotta react to me. You don't know what I'm gonna do, and that's what I like. I do like.
Right. I got you. I got you.
Mhm.
So, what has been some of the biggest lessons you learned about the entertainment industry since starting in 2018?
Yeah, I learned that talent is not everything, and that's the main thing here. That's the main thing that's wrong in the Detroit industry, my opinion. It's a lot of how many likes you got, how many people come to your page, all this, and it's a lot of quantity over quality. Like that's how I was
Yeah.
early on. That's why I don't really have that many films out because I was very particular and picky over what I did. I wasn't just doing anything. I really was doing like actual stories. That's why I worked with Blacksmith so much because they were faith. One, they were faith based, so I knew they wasn't about to be having me out here doing nothing reckless. And two, they were just great people, and I knew the stories that they did. A lot of times, these people are out here just making movies and they're regurgitating the same thing. They're putting the same people in movies, and I get it. You can. A lot of people like to say the Adam Sandler thing. Oh, he puts all his friends in his movies, but the difference is, and I'm not saying nobody's not good or nobody's anything, but the difference
Yeah.
is they are professionals. You know what you're going to get from Chris Rock. You know what you're going to get from Kevin James. You know what you're going to get with these other people. They're just putting their friends that they found on the back. Hey, let me put me in a movie, and now you get
Yeah.
trash. Look at the quality you're putting out. You don't care. So that's the main thing. And I learned to just roll with the punches. Like I know what I bring to the table. I know the work that I put in. Um I know that I take it serious. So I kind of don't get too fed up about it anymore. But early on I did let that get under my skin. I learned I learned to not be comfortable. I feel like I was just getting too comfortable with, oh yeah, I'm working, but what like Denzel says, you can run in place, but are you going anywhere? Like, don't confuse movement with progress. So that's what I definitely learned. So I'm
Yeah.
trying to get out of here. I'm trying to. I took a step back a little bit. I haven't been working on many films. I'm trying to just train and just audition for stuff out of state. I gotta build more connections because that's what it is. It's not what you know, it's who you know. That's the main two things I learned. It's who you know.
Okay. When you backstage and behind the scenes a lot, you kind of realize that for one, Norman Lear, he created the family.
Hmm.
You know, I don't know if you're familiar with who Norman Lear is, but he's the one who created
Good time.
Good Times, the Jeffersons,
Hmm.
all of the movies that we grew up on. You didn't grow up on them, but the ones we grew up on, he created those. So a white Jewish man created what the black family was.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's weird, but the traditional things that we do and the way we feel emotionally about family had a lot to do with that. Which we saw on TV.
Hmm.
You know, and also when you once you find out that the cutting room floor can be vicious, like a lot of stuff you do in films don't even make it on there, right?
Hmm.
Have you, yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like you'll do a whole scene and it won't make it to the screen.
Yeah.
And it might be the best scene. You would just, you know what I'm saying? Like we wanted the people to see that.
Literally.
And yeah, when the final cut comes out, it's like, nope, it's not even in there.
Hmm.
We had to go a different direction. Are there any films that you've done that haven't even seen the light of day?
Plenty. Plenty.
Exactly. Yeah, I know. I know.
Yes.
I know. I know. And I just for people, me even wanting to do this film interview and series was because I was in film and neither one of my films are actually out
What?
because of all kinds of different politics.
Yeah.
So I guess in essence, it's like, you know how having a child is really risky for women? Like it's a lot that has to happen right for a child to make it to see the light of the day, to be born. For these films, a lot has to happen right for it to go to a theater.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? People take that for granted.
They do. And I was just talking about that literally. Because after seeing Captain America, I was just talking about the how I like how Marvel kind of has built this brand of making people wait in the theater when the movie is done and just watching the credits all the way through. Because all those credits, all those people made things go right, like you just said, for that movie to even be in
Yeah.
the theater.
Yep.
I hate that. I hate that behind the scenes and other departments don't get the um, fair
That
share they
credit.
deserve. You feel me?
Yeah.
Because it's not the
Yep.
actors. It's whoever got the actors to set that day. It's the people that fed the actors. It's the people that
Craft services. Yep.
made sure their wardrobe was nice. That all has to go right before you even get the camera up. People holding the lights, the graphers, the like. It's so many things, and I just want to shout them out
Yeah.
now. Like,
Yeah. Shout out to the cast and to the crew, man.
crew, shout out to the crew of any.
Um, even the continuity people
Yes,
who just make sure that nothing changes in this room until the final scene is shot.
yes,
We take that for granted that everything has to stay the same, even though it's a different day sometimes.
literally
Can't change nothing.
nothing.
And it's funny with these films, you go in with all your wardrobes. Every scene that'll be shot at that location is literally done in one shooting. You just change clothes
Yeah.
and do it. It's crazy. When we start doing this film stuff, I was like, so this is how this works.
Mhm.
So we're gonna come in today and we shooting everything at this location, even though we haven't even shot the first part.
Mhm.
We'll be shooting the end of the movie before we even started the first scene
Mhm.
because it's happening at that same location. As a young actor, what challenges have you faced in finding opportunities, and how have you navigated that?
Um, really, really, the main thing is body type and body, like really more like appearance, like body type and height. That's the main thing because nowadays they want they want these like these sex symbols. They want you to have 6 pack, 6'3", you feel me? Athletic build.
Yeah,
That's the thing I come across the most. Like I will fit everything else. And I'm not no, you feel me? I'm an athletic build, like a slim athletic build, but like that's the thing I come across the most. You have to be like this Dwayne the Rock or something close to it. Or just age
yeah,
too. Like I'm in the middle of the age, like I can pass as a teenager, but like I can't really sell like feel me late 20s type of I can't really sell no husband right now, if that makes sense.
right. Yeah,
25, about to be 25. So it's just like that's the thing right there, appearance.
okay,
And I've
okay.
I've just learned to just really kind of bypass it. Like sometimes you just gotta say forget it and just submit for it anyway and just audition because you never know what's gonna come out of it.
What is your process in rehearsing?
I have so it's a book out there called The Power of the Actor. That's what I've been
Mhm.
using for the last probably 4 films now. And it's definitely taking me to a whole another level. It's definitely opening up my creativity. But it's a lot of reading, a lot of marking, erasing. It's a 12-step guide. So I literally just go through the 12 steps. Um a lot of people think the lines are like the main priority. The lines are gonna come. I know a lot of people say, "How do you memorize all those lines?" It's truly easy because once you reading it 1,000 times, they really just sink into your brain. For me personally, and I know that's kind of like the
Yeah.
norm. But like, yeah, it's really just repetition and just knowing my learning style and what works for me.
So you just keep reading it over and over.
Yeah, and going through the steps. That's mainly what it is. Cause I
Yeah.
read the script before I even start working. I read the script about if I don't do 3, I'm gonna do 2 for sure. I try to shoot for 3. I've read it more than 3 times for some scripts, but I'm trying to hit that 3 mark all the way through,
All the way through.
all the way through. Yep.
Okay. So you wanna know. I've seen actors actually read other actors' lines. They know the script so well.
Hmm.
They mumble. You can see their mouth move
Yeah.
to the other, yeah, to the actor's lines that's in the shot with them.
Yeah. Now that's the thing. I don't think I've ever had that problem. I
Yeah,
know their lines, but like not to the point where I'm saying mine because
verbatim.
you feel me? I got too many other things on my. I got too many other things that I got to be
Yeah.
thinking about. So. I don't tell people
Yeah.
doing that. That's truly dedication.
How do you prepare mentally and emotionally for roles that require deep expression, like emotional expression, like where you gotta, yeah, well, you can't play with it. It's a lot on the line on this, on telling this story right.
I try to, I'm in a like thin line of method actor and technique. So like for roles like that, I definitely would try to put myself as close to that character's shoes as possible. If they're a loner or like deep depression, I will go to the extent of turning my phone off or just really making myself putting myself in that headspace. I'm that type of person. I'm method in a sense. So I'm gonna keep
Okay.
that character with me from set to home. I'm not to the extent that I'm gonna be talking to people nasty or like this, but I'm definitely gonna be having that dark cloud over me or making playlists. Playlists are the main thing that I do. If it's a cloudy character or like you said, emotional, I'm gonna have a straight deep playlist, listen to it every day, stuff like that. If I can go to what's it called, an island by myself, I would do that. That's the extent I'll go to.
See, and that's what separates the veterans and the amateurs too.
Hmm.
Like, I'm sure Denzel has a ritual that he does to get into these roles.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe not now because he's he's 30 years plus. But in order to get to the place where you're getting Emmy awards, you gotta be different.
You have to.
What types of stories or roles do you hope to take on in the future?
I definitely want to do like more sinister. I want to do um like occupational biopics. I definitely want to play another person's real life. Superhero, of course. But like kind of I want to start taking on those rom-coms. I definitely want to do a rom-com. That's a top 3. Rom-com, psycho thriller, and biopic and occupational are hand in hand.
So, how do you want your work as an actor to impact audiences?
Resonate is the word of the day. I wanna resonate with audiences. I really do. I want to leave a lasting impact. That I kind of make goals for every role I have. Like once I figure
Hmm.
out once I figure out my character, I put a goal in my head. This is what I want from the audience. And like when I go to the premieres, I listen. I listen when every congratulation I get, I really listen, and I hear if I get that goal. Like for A Family Divided, my goal for that was to make people truly believe like that me and the girl that played my sister were real life brother and sister, and I wanted to show that love on screen, the brother's love for a sister, and that's all I got. Oh, you made me cry. You really loved your sister. That's all we got. Like so, that was my goal.
Okay.
So I set out for each role a goal that I want to resonate with the audience.
That when people say I don't do this for the money, I do this for the impact.
Hmm.
That's yeah, most definitely.
Literally, the money will
Um,
come.
yeah, money will come. Money will definitely come, especially if you impacting people in those emotional places. Like, one of the Forrest Gump, for example,
Hmm.
that movie is a bestseller, most one of the most popular movies probably in history because of the. It was actually a sad story.
Was
So, what advice would you give to aspiring actors who are just starting out, especially those coming from Detroit?
don't just take anybody's acting class. If just because you see somebody's posting, oh, I'm doing this acting class, come do it. No, do not take. You want to go to a trained professional for whatever technique they're trying to teach you, or somebody that's I don't want to say better than you, but like somebody that's actually making waves and has criteria. You feel me? Actually go to a studio. Don't just go to somebody's basement or you feel me? Like a tattoo, you wouldn't go to nobody's random basement. Like just be this is it's an investment. You're investing in yourself at the end of the day. You don't have to have
Yeah.
all the money in the world, but you do have to. It takes money to make money. You got to pay for classes. You got to get headshots. Get all the prerequisites out the way with your headshots. Um, get some friends. You don't have to go and do a big feature film to start off. Get some friends, make a short film. Like you can start
Yeah.
somewhere, you can start anywhere. But that's rule number one. Do not let anybody take advantage of you by just saying, "Hey, I got to do these acting classes. I can do your headshots in the backyard." No, all professional. Go professional.
You're gonna get out of it what you put in it.
Hmm.
You know, you get out of it what you put in it, and you take the shortcut. It's really no such thing as a shortcut.
No,
It's no such thing as a shortcut because you're gonna pay for it.
literally.
You're gonna pay for it, and it may be at the most inopportune time, and that might be when you got that big opportunity, and they ask you to go to a to that level. I always tell people learn the right way first, and if you want some bad habits involved, that's cool, but at least your default is the right way
Hmm.
versus learning all the bad ways of doing it or the shortcuts and then having to learn how to do it right. It's harder to wipe out that bad intel than it is to already know the right way and add, you know what I mean?
Literally.
So how do people find the movies that you have been in that are out? How do people find them? So what about August Livingston, that story? How can people see that?
A Family Divided, you can see on Amazon Prime, Tubi. I don't know what else she put it on, but yeah, those are the main two that you can find any of my movies. You can look me up on IMDb, Joseph Phillips Jr., and it'll show all my movies, anything that I have that's being edited, anything upcoming that I just got joined on the cast. You can check any of those out. Uh, and then on Instagram, I post my stuff. Joseph G. Phillips, all one.
How does your faith come into? Because I know you God fearing, the family is God fearing. How does that? How do you? Because you did say something about you were working with a faith based company, so you didn't have to worry about a lot of random craziness.
Hmm.
On but how does your faith impact what you do as far as acting?
It impacts it a lot, honestly. It keeps me going. Number one, just seeing the gradual progression that I make. Um, just knowing that, like I said earlier, my dreams are closer than they appear. I know that because I know that a lot of people will say, "Hey, you just need to go talk to Tyler Perry. You need to go sing your stuff to Tyler Perry." And it's like it's not that easy, but I know it's coming. Like my mom too. Um, she's kind of been bugging me about when Judge Mathis, when the play coming to Detroit, because it was supposed to come in
Yeah,
January, but it got postponed. She just been not nagging, but she just been, when is it coming? When is it coming? When is it coming? I'm like, relax, it's gonna happen in due time, and like it definitely keeps me leveled with everybody coming at me saying, when your next thing dropping? What you doing? I get that every single day whether it's at work,
yeah.
at home. You feel me? So keeps me level headed, and it just, I don't know, it just keeps me driven because I know I'm doing the work, and faith without works is dead. So I know I'm doing the work, so I know whatever I'm putting in, I'm gonna get out.
Well, man, this has been like a really good interview. I learned a lot, even though we family. I'm honored to have you as the first guest on the Focus on Film. I think this interview was great, man. I see a real bright future for you, and not just because you're family. I see whenever you want to stop by here, it's something you want to talk about that you want to promote. Make sure you just tap in. You already know I got a spot for you, bro.
For sure. Thank you. I really appreciate this. This was great.
Oh yeah. So is there anything you want to leave with the people?
Yes, everybody. I do have two films that are on their way to streaming. One is Right Man, Wrong Woman. That is with the Shoe Lady Productions and Blacksmith, like I was saying. And then we have Missing, and that is with the same two companies.
Hey, I wish you the best, nephew. It's all support from here.
Thank you. Thank you. I enjoyed you.
All right, peace. I appreciate y'all for coming in today for the Focus on Film series. You already know what it is, man. We are disrupting the patterns and traditions. We disrupting all that. We creating new narratives for our people and for ourselves. So I appreciate y'all. Peace.